Hi, guys. So I wanted to talk about something that a lot of guys struggle with, and that is what to say to their wives. Women who are more highly sensitive or more romantic, and guys who are more, fact based and not as romantic or verbally expressive. Those guys tend to struggle with what to say, when the woman wants to talk. And I have a whole podcast that's going to come out about this. And thank you for the like. Everybody send likes if you're watching. And basically what the woman wants to know is that she's a priority. And a lot of guys think that their actions may indicate that she's a priority, but they don't actually say it, so she doesn't really know. Because remember, you had probably the same job when you met her as you do now, and so the job isn't for her. Like you clean the house, you do stuff, but like you also do live there. You take care of the kids, but they're your kids. So, it's like, what would does she really know that you prioritize her and that you're doing things for her if you don't say it? No. That's called mind reading. What all guys, say nobody should have to do, right? But then they say, well, doesn't she know that I prioritize her because all my actions say it? But she doesn't know the intent behind your actions. So, and send me a like if you're watching this. But more romantic women, they definitely want to hear these things. Women who like words of affirmation, right? So, for example, saying like, I'm so glad I married you. I'm so glad I'm building a life with you. You're a wonderful wife. You're such a great partner. You're beautiful. You're so smart. Things that you feel that they made better for you. Like, I never would have understood so much about myself if not for you. If it's like a woman who really likes to talk about you and your personality and your family, which is like every highly sensitive woman. So I'm so glad that, we talk about these things. It helps me understand myself better. Remember, the marital researcher John Gottman talks about how important it is for men to accept influence. That's the number one thing associated with a happy marriage for men, is accepting influence. Whereas for women, it's having a gentle approach. So the conflict, to come up to you and say, hey, hun, do you think that you could get a different brand of cereal next time? Instead of, why the hell did you get this brand of cereal? Do you think we eat grape nuts? We haven't ate grape nuts in 10 years. Right? So that would not be a gentle approach, right? So for a man, the important one is accepting influence. So that means that when your wife says something to you like, hey, do you think that maybe like it would be good for you to have to maybe walk to work? Because I was reading about all the benefits of walking. Instead of being like, on top of everything else on my plate, you think now I'm going to walk to work? How do you think that the bills get paid if I had 20 minutes less at work every day? Doesn't mean like you want me home any later, does it? Which some guys do say. Instead, you'd be like, that's a great idea, hun, maybe I could do that on one of these Fridays. You're always looking out for me. Thank you. That's accepting influence. You don't even have to do it. You honestly just don't have to be a dick, is like the point. So in terms of how you talk to your wife, you want to treat her with respect, with gentleness. You don't want to be dismissive or mocking. And you want to say concrete, positive things about her, observations about her that are positive and not critical. Those are the ways to use your words to get your relationship to be better instead of worse. And I see 35 people watching, so send me likes so that other people can see this video too, because that's how Facebook works. And another thing is that a lot of guys think that like saying I love you too much like is corny, or like it makes it like not mean anything. That isn't true at all. Only like if you're like a preoccupied attachment guy and you're super anxious and insecure and you're up her ass all day about everything, then yeah, she doesn't want to say, here, I love you, honey. Do you love me? Do you love me? I love you. I love you. You're such a good wife. And don't you think I'm a good husband? And I love you. Do you love me? Do you love me? Are we going on date night tonight? Hey, do you want to go upstairs for 10 minutes while the kids are, watching TV? No, like calm down, right? But if it's the situation that I'm describing, where the woman is the more emotional party, which is more common, despite what you see on the internet, because as I've said, the guys who follow relationship sites are mostly preoccupied attachment guys. So if you're the woman watching this, this is the one you want to send to your husband, right? If he's the more avoidant guy. So there is no, for an avoidant guy, there is not any amount of I love you that is too much. She wants to hear so much that you love her, that you value her, that you're attracted to her, that you think she's a great mom is a very big one, that you think that she's smart and capable, and like that you recognize and see who she is as a person. You know, so it's very important really to understand that if you're a preoccupied attachment guy, then you don't probably need to do any more compliments, although you may, because some preoccupied attachment guys are just super critical of the woman all the time. She's just not giving enough attention, sex, romance, love, everything. But if you're an avoidant guy, a guy who has been accused by your wife of being unemotional or robotic or hard to get to know or whatever, then you do need to ramp up, you know, turn up the volume on what you do think about her when they are positive things that you think. If anybody has any questions, you could ask me any questions now. I do have a podcast. Erin says, hello, Erin. Well, hold on, Erin. Let me just make sure that I'm not behind schedule here. I am not. Okay. What would be the equivalent for the preoccupied wife to do for the avoidant husband? Have sex. He doesn't want more compliments. He doesn't want more of anything. He wants you to calm the fuck down. So basically, the preoccupied wife needs to focus on what I just told the preoccupied attachment husband, which is chill out, calm down, stop following him around and talking. So definitely those are the things for the preoccupied wife to do. Find something else to do. Find things to think about. Go into your own therapy and see why you're so obsessed with the relationship. Stop analyzing him constantly. Stop taking every word he says and parsing it for 7 million different meanings. You know, that is what you could do that he would like. And what he actually likes usually is sex and touch and like the ability to go do his own thing. Because this is somebody who wants to live his own life separately, and you're a part of his life. And that's the way that he conceives of the relationship. So he has many aspects to his life. He has work, he has hobbies, he has friends, he has parenting, and then he has you. You know, and what the avoidant attachment man feels is that the woman is trying to become everything to him. And he finds that to be very smothering and very, frankly, angering. You know, he feels that she's always trying to get her fingers into all the aspects of his life and not giving him space to be himself. So what a preoccupied attachment woman can do is to work on herself and why it makes her so anxious when he goes and does his own thing. Now, sometimes pursuer distancer relationships just don't work out long term, but sometimes they can if either of the insecurely attached partners, either the preoccupied or the avoidant, can work on themselves and growing more secure, more middle of the road. But the best gift to give an avoidant person is the space to be themselves without criticism and without control. So avoidant men feel extremely controlled by their preoccupied wives. And the women feel very anxious, frantic, and lonely. And they feel a lot of attachment panic. You can Google that on drpsychmom.com, attachment panic. They feel like the guy doesn't focus on them enough. And in fact, he does not focus on them wholly. He may love them very much, but they're not the sum total of what he thinks about. So it's interesting because in the manosphere, they basically are telling preoccupied men to act more avoidant, but hopefully that just leads to them being more middle of the road and secure, right? Because they just need to kind of have their own life. Everybody needs to have their own life. But if you don't, and you're focused overly on the relationship, then you're preoccupied. But if you're too under-focused on the relationship and you just think of it as just another area, you know, then you're avoidant. But good question. And I do have to go now, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day. Join my Facebook group if you like talking about these issues.